Hey, what's up guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about pricing strategies for merch by Amazon, what I followed, and what actually works. So, you ready? Let's get started. Now, this channel is all about using the merch by Amazon opportunity to create profits from merch by Amazon, to have income, and to invest that income so that you can be financially free in the future. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, like and subscribe below, and let's get into today's video. So, profits on merch by Amazon and how to decide to price your merch by Amazon t-shirts. This is kind of important because if you price them too low, you're not going to make any money. Price them too high, people might not buy them. So, what have I heard of? What have I tried? And what am I actually doing now that works? Well, first let's talk about what all strategies are out there. Now, the one that most people have probably heard of and that most people follow is the zero profit strategy, which is where you start a shirt out, I think it's like $13.79 or something, or $13.70 something, and then you wait for it to sell, and then you slowly raise the price of the shirt until it doesn't sell anymore. Now, this is a decent strategy, but for reasons that we'll talk about in the future, it's not really the best strategy. And first of all, we can start out just by talking about the fact that you have zero profits in the beginning, so it's a little nerve-wracking. But that is one of the strategies. Another strategy is to start somewhere reasonable, maybe $15 for a shirt or something like that, and just kind of spitball where you think you should start. A lot of people do this too. It's just, one of those things, you go with whatever Amazon puts as the sale price for the shirt. You go with that and you think it's one of those things where Amazon knows best, so might as well just go with it, what Amazon says. Again, nothing wrong with that. A lot of people do it. A lot of people have success with it. But there are a few issues with it. Now, another one is pricing for the niche that you're in. So you go and look at that niche and you see, well, a lot of shirts in here are priced at $19.99. Maybe a few of them are priced at $13. But for the most part, I see that most of them are $19.99, and so I'll just undercut those a little bit and maybe go $17.99 and price my shirts that way. Now, this is a decent strategy, and a lot of people have success with this, and it works. I mean, it makes sense because people are looking at those shirts the same way that you are as customers, and they're seeing, well, this is $19.99, and if most people are going to Amazon, then they're likely people who are looking for a bargain. So they're going to look for that shirt that may be a little bit different from what they were looking for, but it's like $2 cheaper. So, heck, I'm a frugal person, so I'm going to go with the $17.99 shirt. You can get that customer, and that's great. But there are likely issues with this as well. So, which one is correct? And are any of these correct? Well, let's start off with the zero pricing guide, which is where people start their shirts off, like we said, at like $13 and something cents. And whenever that shirt sells, you get nothing. And that's obviously an issue. This is something that I really don't like because for me, it created a lot of anxiety. Because if you know me, you know that I love to run ads. And with the zero pricing strategy, for one, I was sweating it because I was running ads at the same time as this, and I was losing money for every time that ad got clicked on. Second, it created anxiety for me just because I'd done all this work, and even if this shirt sold, I wasn't going to get anything for it. I wasn't going to get paid back for the ads, and I want to get paid for the shirt, period. So it was a little bit frustrating for me, and I wasn't a fan of this type of strategy. So that's the zero to infinity. Now, some people like this strategy because if you are in a niche where, like let's say you're in the dog niche and you somehow get a shirt to sell that's $13 and then you start raising the price as it starts selling more, and then you eventually get it to where it's selling for $19.99 a shirt. That's great. That's great for you. I really do hope that that works out for a lot of people, but I've never really had much success with it myself. And it's just one of those things where starting out, if you know much about sales and people's mentality, there's an issue here as well with pricing it low starting out, is that people have an implied perception of this design. And if they see that you're in a space where other shirts are like $19 or $16 and they see one that's $13, there's just something in the back of your head that says, well, why is it $13? Like, it looks really similar to everything else on this page, so why is this design $13? And they think, well, it's probably a lesser quality. This is Amazon. A lot of people sell a bunch of different stuff on Amazon. It comes from a bunch of different producers, so can I really trust a $13 shirt? Am I gonna have to wind up returning this anyway? Is this just like me buying a chore for me to do in the future, having to return the shirt? And so there's that issue as well. A lot of people have a little something in the back of their head whenever they see something that's a lower price. Some people are frugal and they'll just go for it anyway, and they make peace with the fact that it's probably going to break eventually. A lot of other people just don't buy the shirt and they go for the higher priced item because they want something that they feel is going to last, even though that they don't know that Amazon puts all of these designs on the same shirt. No matter how it's priced, Amazon puts all these designs on the same shirt. The average person shopping on Amazon doesn't know that though. So it is in your best interest to price a little bit higher. So the next pricing strategy, the $15.99, or just kind of spitballing where Amazon puts you. This is great. It leaves a little bit of room for ads. You're able to get some spend out there and see what it's like to if you actually get a sale. But again, it's just a little bit too random for me, and I don't really appreciate the lower price, because 15 is still like, if you get a $15 shirt, there's just something about it where it's still not that expensive, and so you're just gonna feel like you're taking a risk with this shirt. So I honestly don't think the $50 strategy is great. It's better than the Xero profit strategy, but it's not that great. And then, I don't think we talked about this before, but there are people who start out their shirts with the $19.99 price. And these are brave people. Or they're just people who are like me that spend with ads. And, that's a great thing. But if you look at Amazon's prospective buyers, again, they are people who are on a budget. They're people who are shopping on a budget, and they don't want to spend more for the same item. So yes, the same argument holds that you have a $19.99 shirt, so it probably holds a little bit more value in the prospective buyer's eyes over the $13.99 shirt. But at the same time, that's a big price difference for people, especially if they're like looking at dollars and cents and whatnot. So $19.99 starting out for a shirt is really a ballsy move, but I don't think it's the best strategy. And then there are the people who shop or who price their shirts at whatever is the closest to the market that they're going into. Like, let's say they're going into the dog niche and they see that most of the shirts on that page are selling for $19.99 to $17.99. So they price it at like $18.50. And that's really a decent strategy. $18.50 is going to get you a great profit, and you're going to be able to spend with ads as well. So that's going to be something that's going to get you in the door, and you're going to be competitive in that niche, and you're going to be able to spend ads as well to find out what people are actually going to be willing to pay, and get your shirt in front of enough people so that enough people have time to see it, so that you see if people would actually be willing to buy that shirt. So those are the strategies that I've heard of. That's my opinion on those. Now, what do I personally do whenever I'm pricing shirts for Merch by Amazon? Well, I put all of my shirts actually starting out. Standard shirts are $16.99, premium shirts are $16.99, V-necks and tank tops are $19. Sweatshirts, I leave those all the same at the bottom because those don't really sell very often, and people aren't really going to Amazon to look for sweatshirts anyway that I found. Some people have great success with them, I haven't, so I just leave them all the same at the bottom, and so when one sells, I get like $4, which is, it's a nice payout for that shirt. But for the most part, or for all of my shirts, I start the standard shirts out at $16.99, and the reason I do this is because it gives me enough of a profit to be able to use a lot of ads for that shirt to get it in front of as many people as possible, because that means I'll be able to spend close to $3 in ads just to break even on that shirt to see if it'll even sell. So that means that if you follow the ad spend that I recommend, I'll put one of those cards somewhere up here, then you'll be able to spend close to $3 to find out if that shirt's actually going to sell. And that means that you'll be able to follow the pricing strategy or the ad strategy of only having $1 per day as your spend and having 25 to 30 cents cost per click. And this should get you in front of around, maybe 9 to 10,000 people. And if 9 to 10,000 people see your design and maybe 10% of them click on it, then you're going to have enough impressions to find out if people actually want to buy this shirt. And so that's why I like to price these shirts at $16. It's because it gives me a lot of wiggle room to work with just in case I want to, want to use ads, because I do use ads on 90% of my shirts to get them out there in front of people to see if they would actually sell. And so pricing them at $16 gives me that wiggle room to break even and see if this shirt would actually sell if I put it in front of the right people. So $16 is a great starting point for me. That's what I love because, like I said, it gives me the ads and it puts money in my pocket. I don't have to worry about the fact of not getting paid for my work. And that is honestly something that really gave me, like I said before, anxiety about pricing at Xero, is because even if you sell something, you don't know you're not going to get paid for it. And it just doesn't make sense to me to not get paid for something that's out there. And $16.99, it's kind of that sweet spot in most niches. If you have a shirt that's $16.99 in a niche where most shirts are $19.99, then likely you're going to be looked at as the budget shirt in that niche, and you probably will lose some sales because you aren't around the same price as other shirts. But you're going to get those people who are the budget shoppers, and if you're doing any sort of good design, then you're likely not going to be looked at too bad if you've got a budget shirt in a niche. So that's my opinion so far on the pricing of Amazon shirts for Merch by Amazon. If you have any questions, please drop them down below in the comment section. I love chatting with you guys, and I just can't wait to hear what your opinion is on pricing t-shirts for Merch by Amazon. And if y'all have any suggestions on future videos, please let me know. Any thoughts on stocks or anything that you were looking at as far as investing, please let me know that as well. And remember, someone's going to do something great every day, guys. So why not you? See ya.